What's good, y'all? It's King Steph, and we have a new JJK chapter 174. With the hype that was going around with last week's chapter of Yuta, it definitely carries on into this one, because we got some cool action between Yuta, obviously the cockroach, and we got a little bit more insight into, what the cockroach's capabilities are. But without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. We are at the deadlock with the 4 new players. Out of the 4, Druv is dead. And from the looks of it, the Shikigami that he had were actually pretty huge. I mean, they were the size of buildings. But we had Ryu and Takako put out their Kagane to see, who was gaining all these points. There you see is Yuta. And by the way, I like the little design that Ryu's Kogane is infatuated with him. I think that's a nice little touch. And they are like, man, I'm glad he took out Druv, because his Shikigami were annoying to deal with. And Ryu says it's time for Kurodoshi to make his move. And Takako isn't really a fan of that. We got Yuta helping some people who are in this colony, just some regular humans trying to escape. He tries to guide them out of the colony, and he sees the little girl is scared. So he thinks to himself, I think it's best for us to rest. He tells them, let's relax for a little bit. But all of a sudden, they hear a screeching noise. Yuta tells them to run, and a big swarm of cockroaches come flooding the street that they're on. And there's a boy running for his life, and Yuta grabs him to try and keep him from being drowned within the cockroaches. By the way, I ain't gonna lie, this kind of made me itch a little bit reading this. It's kind of, it's kind of gross. And as Yuta is trying to pick him up, the boy's body starts to bleed profusely from the inside. And from the looks of it, the cockroaches embed themselves in the target's body and eat their way from the inside of the body to the outside, leaving nothing but bone, and they're strengthened with cursed energy. I can kind of see why Takako didn't really try to mess with this thing. I mean, this ability is pretty, I ain't gonna say it's incredibly strong, because, I've seen stronger, obviously, or we've seen stronger, but this curse technique is interesting, and it kind of fits, obviously, the cockroach ability. It's definitely a wide range thing, but I just like how gruesome this is, and just how vivid Gege made it. I think it's a nice touch. And this definitely, colony-wise, Sendai already gives off a different vibe than Tokyo. More so in the sense of like how serious things got so quickly. The other civilians try to run, and Yuta calls for Rika to drop it. And Rika breaks down the bridge that they're on, and the roaches can't come through. And with his katana, Yuta stops the roaches pretty easily. He about to buy this thing. I'm just letting you know now, when we get back from break, I have no doubt that Yuta is going to leave with no scratches against this thing. Which, by the way, Ryu commented on Yuta's curse energy output, and we know that these two have the highest output. So that could be, seeds for planning for a possible fight. I'm looking forward to it if it happens. But also, he commented on his drip. He said, this kid outfit kind of clean. But Yuta is face to face with Kuroshi, and and we get a full look at his design. And the cockroach head has multiple eyes, and I'm guessing it has like a cloak on or something like that, or maybe it's just a body. I'm not really sure, but we get a little information on Kuroshi. So after it was at a disadvantage with Druv in the fight that they had, he went into a hibernation / sleep mode, and this sleep mode activated off of his survival instincts while in Druv's colony. Kuroshi has an unlimited appetite. The more he eats, the more roaches he can produce. Is now in a state of starvation, so when he saw Okotu interfere with his meal, he tried to devour him off instinct. Yuta thinks to himself that we can't let players like Druv and Kuroshi, who have wide range attacks, get outside the barrier, because it would affect the humans, so he needs to link these colonies in preparation of other players like them around. He says Fushiguro proposed 2 new rules, but for establishing colony linkage and colony exit and entry, he's gonna need 400 points. Now, that's a lot of points. Yuta's a GOAT, but that's he's gonna have to catch. He's gonna have to just commit a complete massacre just to get 400 points. Even if he transfer with Fushiguro, I mean, they still need like 300 something points. So, I mean, I don't know. Now, I actually there's a possibility, which I'm gonna save for the end thoughts on how he could get this 400 points, and it isn't gonna involve Yuta at all. We'll save that for later. And this is one of my favorite parts in the chapter, in my opinion. Yuta says, I won't let my sensei kill his best friend again. And obviously this holds a lot of weight from Volume 0. We know that Gojo looks at Geto as one of the few friends that he used to have. And, he didn't even want to really kill him back in Volume 0. And I feel like Yuta kind of takes that burden of the fact that he couldn't kill him in that one fight. Because looking back at it, that is kind of a hard thing to do. Even though Geto did become, he did become twisted. It's hard for you to kill like your former best friend if you had to. So Yuta like kind of taking that burden going forward into the coming games, I'm actually really excited for that. And I think that's going to be really good for his character and just adds more weight to whenever Yuta does things. The chapter ends with Yuta vowing to kill Kenjaku. Kadoshi pulls out his human hands and he has this dope looking blade called Fester Life Blade, a blade that crosses between life and death. This chapter, I'm gonna give it like an 8.5, 9 out of 10, around that range. Definitely cool. You know, I like the, honestly, other than Yuta, obviously Kadoshi, he's an interesting special grade, you know, curse. I didn't expect his ability to be so, we'll say, detailed and just the violence that it is, but you know, this kind of made me look into the Sendai colony, and I think this colony that we're going to be in is going to be a lot shorter than Tokyo. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be a long time spent here. I obviously, you know, when we get into Kadoshi versus Yuta, I'm just expecting Yuta to take this thing out in like maybe one chapter. It could surprise me because, you know, it is a special grade. You know, we don't know if it's like the smallpox deity. Does it have a domain of some sort? It doesn't come off like it does in my opinion, but the Fester Life Blade is going to be interesting how this works. I want to see how it ties into life and death. I'm looking forward to seeing what the blade can do. Obviously, curse tools in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's at least one type of, you know, little gimmick to it or ability, and this one seems like it might be life and death, and, you know, kind of dealing with the fact that it's a cockroach. I'm thinking it's something like maybe it could take curse energy, or maybe it could feed off the energy that you give to it. That's kind of what I'm banking on it being, but kind of hard to tell. Overall, I like the design of the blade, but as for Yuta and Kadoshi, that's kind of all I got right now. Not really expecting too much. I'm honestly, in terms of Yuta, fight-wise, if he fights Ryu, I'm looking forward to that. And lore-wise, I want to see more about Takako, because she is from the rival clan that Yuta is from. Rival clan that Yuta is from. I want to see more about that if we get more on her. And then when I said earlier about, you know, Yuta getting the 400 points, and there's really only a couple ways I can think of. The other one that popped into my head was, okay, so we had Yuji obtain, who he could do was 100 points, and so, you know, we got the rule change. Now the other person that has over 100 points is Kashimo, and Kashimo has 100 points right now. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Hakari, when he fights Kashimo, he gets his points, because even if Hakari kills Kashimo, he's only going to get 5 points. So I would imagine Hakari wants to find a way to get those points. I don't know how. I think the best way he's going to have to do it, he's going to have to put him in a submission or surrender to where he has to give up his points. But I don't know. Obviously, that's like far thinking, because there's no telling when we're going to get to, you know, their side of the colony. But that's just one way I'm thinking of. Obviously, the other brute weight force is just killing a bunch of people, and, you know, finding players to like merge their points. Maybe he works with these two to get their points. I don't know, but I highly doubt that Yuta is going to somehow acquire a mass amount of points like that from just killing people. I just personally don't see that happening. And the last thing I want to touch on, obviously, we seen Yuta talk about Kenjaku. He wants to kill him, you know, so Gojo doesn't have to do it again himself. One thing I think this foreshadows is we're definitely going to get Yuta versus Kenjaku again. I think, honestly, when Yuta came back, that was one of the first things I saw coming, is that Yuta's going to fight Kenjaku. But I feel like it's going to be Yuta and Yuji fighting Kenjaku in their, you know, final fight against him. I think that would be poetic. The two main characters, both who have different reasons to want to kill Kenjaku. Yuji more personal, and Yuta more so of like a grudge or a burden from what he couldn't finish last time. I think that could possibly happen. You know, I can see it going on. But as for this chapter, that's all I got for it right now. Don't forget to subscribe, obviously, like, and comment. Comment down below how you feel about this chapter, and what do you think Kadoshi is going to be able to pull out against Yuta. You know, you think how long you think he going to last? You know, 1 chapter, 2 chapter, we'll see. But I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.